When you have a society that reveres cruelty and admires violence, and at the same time, they discourage you from being affectionate and they prohibit you from showing love, what do you expect when you see something like you did on the news quite a few months back with the Marine trying to be a good Samaritan? And he's not the only one. This has been going on for quite a few years. They are discouraging people from stepping up and actually doing something in a life-threatening situation for somebody else who requires help, because they want you to be desensitized and robotic and numb. And that's exactly what you see before you. That's why you see people dying in the street and other people will just walk over them while they're staring at their cell phone, because they're being desensitized and dehumanized. And that is how they're controlling you. They discourage you from showing love and affection because they've been programming you for years in there's music. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Love is a battlefield. What is love but a secondhand emotion? You go and read these song lyrics. There's no proponents or advocates of love. It's trying to convince you that if you open your heart and show love, you're going to get burned. That's why these guys take pride in being a heartbreaker. They think it's some great, accomplishment in their life that they can break as many hearts as possible. They even glamorize this stuff and glorify it in movies and music and television like this is some big thing. It's not a good thing to break anybody's heart, because once it's broken for life. And when your heart is broken, you block everything and you can't receive divine transmissions. Now you have to dissect all of these things. You have people that go to MMA fights and watch these guys kill each other in an octagon. But those same people that attend those types of disgusting human displays of despicable acts will literally tell you, get a room, it's disgusting and inappropriate, if they see you showing affection to anybody. Hugging, kissing, any type of love, public displays of affection. So you got to recognize what's going on. And this is where it's coming from. This is why people have a hard time smiling these days, because it's the stuff they're putting in the food, the water, the air. It's working in tandem with those microwave towers and satellites that are just pulverizing you into being low vibration. That's why they seed the clouds with those chemtrails and all the garbage you see, because you're going to eventually, that's going to sift down and you're going to breathe it in. It's deadly toxic chemicals in that stuff. So they're just constantly bombarding you with these things. If it's not a physical attack, it's a cyber attack, or it's an attack on social media through the content that you're consuming, which is just rotting your brain. And then you wonder why people are just robotic. I'm an empath, and I can tell you right now, when I assess energies of people, I've never seen it like this before. It's like assessing the energy of a vacuum cleaner. There's no life there. There's no semblance of any type of thread of humanity or being a biological, organic, natural, being. It's something that's synthetic, artificial, and genetically modified and bioengineered and cybernetic. They're just like, robots. If somebody falls on the street, you go see how many people will run and help that person. These days, none. Back in my day, people would give their chair for a pregnant woman in a bus or a train. They would give their seat in a heartbeat. I still do it to this day. I remember a few years ago, I was in a restaurant. A pregnant woman came in. Without hesitation, I was up. I said, ma'am, I tapped on her shoulder. Here you go. Because I'm old school and I have respect. That's something you don't see anymore. That's common sense, courtesy, consideration, and that's class. And that's dignity. And I carry the highest of that because I'm old school. It wasn't how I was raised. That's my nature. You see a woman pregnant, you give her your seat. If you're sitting down in a crowded bus and a woman gets on, you let her have your seat. Nowadays, they just stare at their phone, they stare at their cell phone and pretend like, oh, I'll just keep looking at this all day long and just pretending like the woman next to me isn't bursting in flames. I don't want to get involved because TikTok says I don't want to get involved, so I have to listen. Because the internet is programming my brain not to be human anymore, so I've got to obey orders. This is exactly what it is. And I hope everybody sees this. And you can just do your best to not be absorbed into that crazy, insane psycho circus of an insanity, emotional asylum. I don't even know the words. I've never seen it like this in my life. People get into a car accident and all they're doing is videoing. with their cameras. Oh, look, he's on fire, Daddy. Oh, isn't this all? Let's post it on Facebook. We're going to get a lot of views. That's all you'll see. Nobody comes to help anybody anymore because you're being conditioned not to. And now they're even taking it farther. But now when you're a good Samaritan, you want to step up and save people from being murdered by a crazy nut, you're actually going to be punished and thrown in jail. They're sending a signal to you. If you dare be a good Samaritan, show love and affection and actual compassion, we will punish you for it. I hope you see this. I hope you really see what they're doing to you subliminally, unconsciously, and psychologically. This is why this is psyops, psychological warfare waged against the human imagination, against the human mind. They've been doing it for decades. So, that's why you don't see too many people smile anymore. The only time they smile is when they get paid or when they just had sex with somebody. Or if they just won a contest or something. That's the only time you see a smile on their face. It's just a superficial society you're moving into, and it's sad. But it'll eventually collapse at some point. Because you have the newer generations coming to raise the consciousness of the earth, and all of this materialistic devil worship is going to go right out the window, along with everybody who was a part and parcel of it. I guarantee you that. But anyway, try to be humane. Try to be altruistic. Try to show some sort of, human decency, a humanitarian, a philanthropist, something, Try to show that you care. Even when all of these people are being desensitized, satanic robots, don't be one. Try to just dig down deep and just show a little love to the world. Because a little love goes a long way for somebody who hasn't seen it their entire life, trust me. And you never know. One day that person might be you. You never know.